Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so David Akubian, Bearwoods Photography. I wanted to take a second to talk about a new great product that I've been waiting for to come out. About a month or so ago, I was talking about, I had picked up the Acratech Nomad ballhead. Fantastic. It has exceeded every one of my expectations on what I hoped it would do. And I sort of really just fell in love with it. So I was really hoping that it would do that because I wanted to pick up the new GXP when it came out, the new Acratech GXP. Well, guess what? The Acratech GXP is here. So just a few differences in it. There's a little more metal in here. This one is shaved off a little bit more, so it's even lighter. Now, why is that important? Because, we're all going to carbon fiber tripods and trying to shave that weight. So if we're going to shave the weight, it really doesn't do us a lot of good to put a big heavy ball head on the top. So putting that lightweight ball head on there that doesn't sacrifice any strength is phenomenal. This thing has a 25-pound weight ratio limit, or a weight limit. Is what the rating is. Do yourself a favor, go to the acratech.net website and check out the video on ball head performance. And you'll see that it may be rated for 25 pounds, but I'm suspecting it can do a lot more than that. Scott with Acratech puts a full-size pickup truck on top of this thing, freezes it in a block of ice, puts it in sand, and it doesn't affect the performance. And that's one of the things that I've really been attracted to, is the idea of just being able to rinse it off. You can see down in here that it's just opened up on the bottom. Anything that gets in there just washes away very, very easily. So the new GXP just released. When you get the box, you'll notice that inside are instructions and also an Allen wrench and a brass fitting that is an adapter to go from 3/8 of an inch to 1/4 20. So whatever kind of tripod you're using, this is going to fit. You just simply take your old ball head off and you put this one on. So one of the big things that I really was attracted to this particular ball head for is the ability to do panoramic work without having to have a leveling base. Now, leveling bases are good. This tripod's got a leveling base, so you can level off the base of the ball head or the tripod itself. Then you've got to get your plate straight and everything else, but it's just not as accurate because you're still looking at a couple little factors. This thing you don't have a way of telling that the base is level. So what Acratech has done with this and a couple of their others, they've made it so you can use their regular ball head, in this case the GXP, as a leveling base panoramic head. So how do you do that? So I'm just going to set it right here for a second, and I'm going to get out that Allen wrench that they sent. And you'll notice on the top, it's got a bubble level, it's got the locking clamp and everything else here, or the knob clamp. And right in there, there's a little silver Allen wrench hole. Unscrew it. It's actually easy to do. So now you'll notice that you've got inside of here a 3/8 inch hole, just like you did on the bottom of the ball head itself. So what do you do with that? You take it and you place it top down onto your tripod. Now, what that's going to do for you is allow you to take your platform, your clamp, your plate, and put that on top. All right, kind of funky looking. But now what I do is I just simply loosen the ball and I get it to line up. So on my bubble level here, it's level. What that's going to do for me is when I put a camera on, it allows me to do panoramic movement with just the camera while all of this stays flat. Now again, 25-pound limit, and I guarantee it's more than that. So let's put a camera on there for a second and just show you why this is important and why I really like this feature. So I've got it on there. I'm doing a panoramic stitch of portrait-oriented camera, and you'll see on the bottom down here there's these great laser etched degree marks, and you can just simply use that as a reference to make sure that you're consistent in the the stitching. So let's say I want to do 15 degrees each time. You do your left limit, then you go over 15 degrees, 15 degrees, 15 degrees, 15 degrees, so on, so on, so on. So what that's going to do, and the ball, my little bubble level remains level the entire time. So it's going to give me a flat base to do those panoramics. And again, you know, typically when I'm doing panoramics, I'm using either a 70 to 210, 7200, 2470, somewhere in that range. Sometimes the wider 1735. But it's going to give me a flat level base as I'm panning. You know, I don't have to worry about any errors or anything in the stitching. It's going to work out perfect together. So again, you know, I'm really super happy with the idea of being able to you know, carry around a ball head that does panoramic, as well as has the strength to hold up. My heaviest Tamron lens, which I'll show you in a minute, is the 150 to 600. And someone asked me a question because they're in the market, so I want to show you something with that. But let's go ahead, take this off. Let me unscrew this. And you don't ever have to screw it on too tight. You know, the lighter the better, really. Just hand tighten. You don't want to crank it down because, you know, you don't want to strip out any threads or anything else. Let's unscrew this now. Flip it over. Boom, I've got this. All right, so now, again, it's easy to line up. You've got these little positioning plates or marks here, and you'll see that it'll spin until you get it locked into that position that those line up. The plates that fit into this are the standard 39 millimeter, often referred to as Arca Swiss. It's the universal plate. These particular heads come with a little safety button here so it doesn't slide off accidentally. There's also a clamp, a lever clamp that's available versus the knob. Depending upon which one you want to use, you can order it with either one, or you can get it after the fact as well. So now, again, when you first get your ball head, a couple of things that they tell you to do. Watch the videos on the website. Again, acratech.net. They tell you to get it adjusted, first of all, loosen this up all the way. And then your tension, you're going to see it's very, very, very easily moved. So I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it better. You're going to adjust your tension knob so there's just enough tension on the ball head that it will move a little bit, but not too freely. And I like it about there. Then when you crank this back down, you tighten it, boom, it's not going anywhere. So that's how you adjust it out of the box. Now, there are going to be times that you want to use a long lens, because you can use this as a gimbal head. You just simply turn it and then rotate this, use a long lens in a sidearm position, and you can use it similar to a gimbal head. So it works great. It's 3-in-1 head, regular ball head, panoramic head, and a gimbal. So you've got it all adjusted, but someone asked me the other day, because they're in the market for a good sturdy ball head, and they don't want to carry much weight. These things are under a pound, you know, right at a pound or less. I'd have to look at the specs on it, but everything I've seen on them so far is under a pound. So let's put on a long lens for a second. All right, let's extend this thing out all the way. So a lot of times people talk about ball head drift. And that's where you've got it in a position where you're photographing, and as you're taking the picture, it starts to slide. And I had noticed with the Nomad, I was doing some 1/2-second, 1-second exposures out in Glacier National Park, and I wasn't getting any drift. Super impressive there. So let's turn it to the point where I feel that it's probably got the most pressure on it. It's going to turn it down, and you can see it's not moving at all. You know, that's fantastic, because you know, too many times you get something in there and you put your long lens on a tripod, it starts to drift, and partway through your composition, if it's a long exposure, it's moved on you. That's not good. This isn't going to happen. This thing is super strong. Again, rated at 25 pounds, but you gotta watch that video, Ballhead Performance, on the Acratech.net website. So to the question that I was asked the other day, will it hold a long lens and will it hold it steadily? I think that's your answer right there. Especially if you're doing some macro work with a 180 macro, or you're doing some long lens stuff pointed down a hill, you're not going to have to worry about it drifting at all. So, summarization. Some of the things I like about it is I can do some pretty minute adjustments with this. If I'm using it as a rail almost to do some macro work, it's got a good reference point. So when I flip my camera from horizontal to portrait mode, I've got a good reference point to lock it in and everything else. Super lightweight, super strong, extremely well made. I mean, extremely well made. These things, just amazing to me. How they a small box, small ball head, but it's got the strength of everything, stronger than anything I've ever used before. So strongly recommend, if you're in the market for a ball head and you want a super strong one, super light, go to the Acratech.net website. Check out the new GXP. Phenomenal ball head. So again, I love it. Can't wait to get out to Oregon next week and photograph some stuff on the beach and in the moisture and everything else. I'm going to get it wet. I'm going to get it sandy. It's going to be chilly. I'm just going to get it in horrible conditions, and I'm going to try to do some images and stuff and maybe a little video. It's going to be during a conference. I don't know how much video I'll get to do, but I want to try to make sure that I take a few minutes and I show you how well this thing performs in adverse conditions. Because I photograph a lot in terrible conditions. So that's important to me. So, Acratech GXP, the Acratech.net website. Check them out. If you like this video and the content, go ahead and give me a thumbs up at the bottom of the page. If you haven't subscribed to my videos, go ahead and subscribe to my videos as well. I'm going to keep on coming out with some good content and some good information for you. If you would like, there's a little bell to the side over here. Go ahead and ring that bell. It'll give you notifications every time I post. Until next time, this is David Akubian and Bear Woods Photography. Have a great day.